So hi, welcome to this week's episode of What's What. Okay, so this week we're going to talk about something really interesting. I mean, every week we talk about something interesting, but this week we're going to talk about pre-seed funding. So what exactly is pre-seed funding? I mean, practically, have you ever had that situation where you sat down in the coffee shop, having a drink with your friends or even alone, then suddenly you said, look, I have this great idea and this idea can change the world. Okay, so practically you have the idea, but normally you don't know how to take it to the next step, to a prototype stage, or even having a business plan for your product, right? This is what pre-seed funding is for. So pre-seed funding only requires a great idea. So when you apply for the pre-seed funding, they will actually fund you to develop a prototype and also a proper business plan for your idea. But you know what? Why take it from me? We have an expert. I mean, our team is somewhere in KL with an expert that can explain everything to you. So we have Xelia Tong from Cradle to explain more on pre-seed funding. So I'll pass you straight to Nazra.
Okay, pre-seed grant basically is where somebody who's got an idea yet, but they may not necessarily already have a product or a service ready, and they need to get this product developed, and that's where they will then come to Cradle to ask for that sort of assistance in terms of funding.
Converts the picture into a television signal.
Okay, the difference is obviously because it's grant and a loan where you will have to repay back that. Not that our grant you don't need to repay, it's the fact that for the grant, if you complete what you promised Cradle that you will complete, then there isn't a need for payback, except if you intentionally want to fail while taking up the funds. There will be a penalty. You will have to pay back for whatever funds has already been dispersed to you. And the other thing is that if you do hit a success trigger, which is where we said that, hey, you're now successful with Cradle's funding, you're able to now go out into the market to sell your product, you manage to raise funds, and if you do that, we will actually sort of require you to pay back a certain percentage back into the system so that we can continue giving our assistance to other startups. Okay, basic criteria are the fact that you must be Malaysian. For the pre-seed grant, it's meant for individuals. The requirement is that you're Malaysian and there must be a team of 2. You have an idea, and right now we look for team that come in with idea that they may and they have actually executed certain market validation. What happened in the past is that if you wake up one morning and you say like, hey, I've got this crazy idea that I want to do, and I go to Cradle and say like, can you give me 150,000 for me to develop this thing? But not knowing whether is there a market for it, are they solving any issues, what is the potential of the product or the service that they want to do. And now we emphasize a lot where the individual that comes here with an idea and they need some pre-seed fund to develop that, they need to be able to show us with confidence that this product that you're gonna invest in has potential. There is a market for it, there is a need for us to do this. For those who don't know already, it's 150,000 maximum, that's the ceiling. With that grant, you basically need to meet deliverables. So we don't say like, hey, today you got the grant approved and then you get 150,000 immediately transferred to your bank card. It does not happen that way. My team will actually work with the entrepreneur basically to develop what are the key milestones that they have to meet, what are the expense items that they will be utilizing from the grant, and then we go based on that. At the same time, we also have what we call mentors, which are actually attached to the team that is developing on the idea. The mentor can either be selected by Cradle, pool of mentors, or it could be recommended by the entrepreneurs themselves. The startups, if you want to come into Cradle and you want to shine and say that, hey, I'm the one, you should pick me, right, this round, is that number one, you must sort of be able to present well, right? That is the first step, because if you can't even present well, where you can't carry it out and talk to us about what your idea is about, you would have failed already. you must be able to present well. You must be very clear in terms of what is it that you want to do with the grant. Have you done your homework? As in, like, you did your market validation, not just with your spouses, your family, or your friends, but any other strangers on the street, on the thing that you want to develop or the service that you actually want to offer. Thirdly is that we also look at in terms of the strength of the team that's going to work on the idea itself. We had people who come in alone. Those are the things that we don't look at. We have teams that come in and they may be made up of all tech guys, no business guy in there, and to us that's a weakness, right? And they must be able to prove to us, though we are all tech guys, we do have certain business acumen, we do have existing mentor or coaches who are guiding us. So the team part of it is very important. Team, you are dedicated to the idea itself, as in you have done your homework, you know exactly what you're going to do, and the idea itself has to be innovative. For Catalyst Pre-Seed Fund, the key thing is it has to be innovation. You can't be a pure copycat, right? Even if you were to copycat, you've got to copycat smartly, where you emphasize in terms of what are the localization, what are your unique selling proposition, and these are the things that will make it tick for us. Okay. So if you are 1 out of the 800, means you are extremely good already. Hi, I'm Xelia. I'm the VP of Investment and Angel Tax Incentive Office Head, and you are now watching Cradle TV.
So that's it for this episode of What's What. So if you have anything else you want to add, you want to let us know, anything you want us to cover or anything you want to ask, please use the comment sections below. It is there for a purpose. Till next week.